I wanted to share a tale of caution, and that is a good friend of mine called me today, and he was pretty distraught, and I was distraught as the conversation unfolded. And his concern was that he thought he had leukemia or some type of blood cancer. And as we dive into it was apparent that he had been misdiagnosed, and I wanted to give him some peace of mind and some confidence, but also to point out an error in judgment. What I'm getting at here will be quite clear in just a minute. So he had recently moved to Santa Fe, which is, you probably are well aware of, is at altitude. But the problem actually began before that. And the problem was just a simple alteration in his blood chemistry. His regular doctor had picked this up about a year ago. It was just very subtle at that time. And he thought he would just get it retested before he moved to Santa Fe, and was alarmed to see that some of his red blood cell counts were quite high, almost dangerously high. And so the recommendation was to see an oncologist or hematologist, a blood specialist essentially, to dig into this further. And so he met with that specialist and really came down with a diagnosis of something called polycythemia, which is basically the body's, for whatever reason, signaling an exuberant amount of red cell production, which can be catastrophic. It can affect platelets, which are the sticky things that help with clotting, but also as the two markers that he was most concerned about, the hemoglobin and the hematocrit, rise higher. This increases the viscosity of blood and can cause sludging and predisposed to things like stroke or heart attack or blockage in the kidney blood vessels called renal infarction, which can be devastating to blast out one of your kidneys out of service permanently. This is a game changer. And as we got into it, he didn't really have any of the risk factors for it. He's fit, he's healthy, he's a non-smoker, works out, runs, all these things. And I asked him, is there anything else that he's just not telling me or didn't tell his regular doctor? And he kind of thought for a while, and then he's like, yeah, I've been going down to Mexico and I've been getting testosterone injections. And I've been doing that for quite a while now, but I didn't want to tell my doctor about it because we're friends outside of his practice, and I feel a little bit weird about it. But really, this is a huge issue. This is one of the primary drivers that, if unmonitored and unchecked, can cause this very condition. And so he had neglected something that completely alters the course of everything, including the diagnosis and the long-term treatment of it. He's still going to have to deal with the elevated blood counts that he's faced with right now, and that's typically done through blood donation or phlebotomy. But letting him know that this self-medicating and unmonitored testosterone use can have some extremely devastating consequences really kind of brought his mind full center to clarity. And we were both relieved that it's not likely the diagnosis of cancer or leukemia in his setting, just a miscommunication on his part, deception, if you will, from his primary provider. So I hope you found that helpful, just a precautionary tale. And anyways, be safe, be well, take care.